Hey everyone, so it's day 3, technically, of our searching for a fishing kayak here on Facebook Marketplace. You guys might have been wondering where I've been for the last couple of weeks. In my last video, searching for a fishing kayak on day 2, I talked about my family being sick. Well, it turned out that I was slowly getting sick as well. I felt a little under the weather even during that video, but I was really hopeful that I wasn't getting sick, and of course I was. So with that last video, a lot of comments came in about recommendations, looking for kayaks, things like that. And that's what we're going to do again today. We're going to start looking for fishing kayaks again that have been maybe dropped in these last couple of weeks that I haven't really been searching for since I've been sick. I have it set up. I don't have it right now, but I'm probably going to set it up so where it's closest to me and then work from there. And again, we're going to go over some of the comments in the video that you guys left me, some recommendations, and we're gonna go look for them. There's a couple comments in here. We have searched for a few already, but there's also a comment in here. It's kind of a little trolly. It's like, what's stopping you from spending $100,000 on a lifted truck? Another $85K for a speedboat? I tell you what, man. If I could, I would. Tell you what, man. But I probably also wouldn't be looking at Facebook Marketplace for like a really cheap kayak or a cheaper kayak or a used kayak. I'd probably buy a new too. But I think it's all just being fun and trolly. It's fun. It's all good. But I have a lot here. So we're going to start with the first one here. I'm going to read out loud here. It's research the Native Slayer Propel 10 and the Crescent CKI. Both are around the weight and length you're looking for. The CK1 does everything well. Propel 10 has pedals. My only thing is with pedals, I've just noticed most pedal kayaks are more expensive, and my budget is probably between $500 and $1,000, and it's really tough to find something with pedals for under $1,000. But we're gonna start there. This is Pi Squared 1025. So thank you for the recommendations. We're gonna start looking for. We'll just do search. We're gonna do search for a Native Slayer Propel 10 and then move on from there. All right, let's do that. Yeah, so I'm already looking. So we're looking at the Native Slayer 10. Well, this is Titan 10. I don't know if they're any different. Propel 10. But already I can see that they're $2,000, $1,700, $4,500, $1,500 just for the pedal drive. I don't know if it's, oh yeah, no, so it's $1,500 for the pedal drive. And unfortunately, it's gonna be a little out of my price range for that. So maybe in the future, maybe we'll upgrade, right? We'll go from more of like a budget-friendly kayak, and then if this is something that keeps taking off and you guys enjoy these videos and we grow as a channel, then maybe another kayak is what I look at. But right now, I think spending $1,500 on a kayak, and I'm just getting into it, it's a little expensive. But it's also too, like, I understand like getting what your money's worth. But right now, I need to start out small, find places to bring the kayak, and then go from there. All right, so the next one is the Crescent CK1. Let's check it out. So I don't see a Crescent CK1, so I might be wrong on that. Maybe I'll have to do like a Google search, or there's just none for sale on Facebook Marketplace. So we're gonna move to the next comment. So again, Pi Squared, thank you so much for those recommendations. If you wanna go with the SS series, I recommend the 127. The 107 is cool and you'd be happy with that as well. But if you plan on adding stuff like an XI3 or a stern mount, like an SS 127 is better, and also better for larger waters. I've kind of been leaning back towards the 127, so I want the 107 because it's a little bit shorter, it's a little more compact. But every 127 versus the 107 on Facebook Marketplace are all been about the same price. So really, I'm kind of, for the Bonafide SS 127 or the 107, it's just really for me, I'd get either one, but what's going to be the best bang for my buck? And if I find a 107 and a 127 both for $1,000, I'm probably going to go with the 127. So, but we've already looked at those as well. So thank you for the recommendation. He talked about loading his. I definitely will probably need an assist for sure. But other than that, I mean, I'm with you. I really do think I'd get the 127. Moving to the next comment. That one was from Horviths. I'm going to just say Horviths. Thank you for the recommendation for the 127. I agree. I'm probably leaning towards the 127 as well. We're moving to Sean. 10-foot kayaks with stability while standing really limits your options. And I've heard this a couple times too with short of the kayak, obviously stability. Obviously the videos I've watched, I've all kind of said that. Another one that popped into my mind was the Moken 10. But that's about it when you include the other suggestions. Out of curiosity, what is stopping you from stepping up to 11 to 11.5 foot kayak? I only ask because the extra foot goes a long way with tracking and stability. So I'm not against the longer boats. It's just, I know, like for example, when I go out fishing, I don't have a trailer. And I will be most likely by myself. And it's not that I think that I wouldn't be able to load it on top of my car, or even in the pilot that I have, just throwing it into the trunk and leaving the trunk open, maybe tying it down or whatever. But I think like moral of the story is when I'm out by myself, fishing, paddling, you know, doing all of it, I'm gonna be tired at the end of the day, right? You're fishing, you're paddling around the boat or the lake or where pond or wherever you're at. And at the end of the day, when you're done fishing and trying to load 11.5 foot plus boat onto the top of your car that's over 6 feet tall, it's gonna be rather difficult. And those are things I'll have to invest in, like assists and things like that. So it's not that I'm against it. Definitely with the 127, that's 12 and a half feet. I mean, I'm not against it. It's just, I would have to figure out ways that would make it easier for me to also load it when I'm by myself. So let's look at the Moken 10. I think I've looked at this recently, and I wasn't not a fan of it. I swear I saw one. So here's the Moken 12.5. Supposed to be a paddle drive, yep. So this is $900. Upgraded feel-free Moken 12.5 Volume 2 fishing kayak. This kayak, $800, was seen water 10 times since purchase in 2020. I added a Striker Vivid 4VC 180 this season, and it's seen water once. I also added the rudder kit, blah, 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 for an all-around package. So everything... So this is actually a really good deal. I might save this one, but it's in Ohio, so it's definitely a few hour drive for me. But it's, oh no, it's not. Is it pedal drive? It's not pedal drive. 12.5 feet. That's a long kayak. I know it's a long kayak. But it's not pedal drive, but it's $900. Well, $900. That's where it said 800. So he's adding an extra 100 for the other attachments to it. But it's not bad. I saved it. I don't mind it. You know, keep my mind. I'll just kind of keep my eyes on the Moken 10, but I don't mind this one. And if it's coming with all the other stuff too for $900, it's not a bad deal. I don't know if he's adding the Garmin as well. I'm not 100% sure, but. So let's look at another one. The next one was. No, I think that was the last one he had for there. No, Sean, thank you for the suggestions. I really do appreciate it. Listen, I'm not against the longer boats. It's just, I'm just thinking end of day by myself, loading it on top of a car without assist or anything like that, it would be rather difficult. And kind of, you'd probably get frustrated or annoyed. So, I don't know. I would have to figure it out. And really, that's kind of why I'm leaning towards the shorter boats. I know the shorter boats aren't going to be as stable and may not track as well, but that's kind of why I'm leaning towards shorter boats. Here's one right here, $975, feel free. It doesn't say what it is. Doesn't have any like graphics for it. It just says feel free. That might be a Moken 10. I'm gonna save this one too. But it doesn't give you the link. This person does not have the. Oh no, it does. 11.5. Oh, it's a Feel Free Kayaks, the lure 11.5. So I might save it. Keep an eye on it and check out lures that are maybe a little too closer to my area. So I saved that one as well. So we're moving to the next comment. This is from Lake Forkman. Look at the Ascend 128X kayak. Great and stable. Also room for future upgrades, trolling motor, etc. Awesome. All right, so let's look at it. I've been seeing a lot of Ascends actually. A lot of people recommend Ascend. Let's see. Yeah, I've been seeing a few of these. So here's one right here. This is not far from me. Not terribly far. Not great pictures though. It's a Snapchat picture of a boat. If you're trying to sell it, I want to see the boat, not a boat and then what it's worth. So that's unfortunate. But it does, I mean, I'm going to save it. $625 for this kind of boat. It's not a bad deal, especially if it comes with anything. Great kayak, bought it new about a year ago. Only issue is the floor is very front. Is pushed up a little bit from being strapped to a trailer, looking to get it in a boat. I don't know what that means, so I'm gonna save it, but that's not a good sign. The Ascend kayaks almost look I don't know how much they weigh, and I'd have to do some research for it, but they look heavy. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or not, but like this boat looks like this kayak looks heavy. A lot of plastic, but I don't know. I might have to just Google it. 100-pound kayak. And so, like, to me, 100 pounds is a heavy kayak. It's a heavy kayak. So I don't know. That's again why I'm leaning towards shorter kayaks. All right, so moving on to the next. Thank you again, Lake. I appreciate that. Buy a new Hobie. Hobies are too expensive. I'll tell you that right now. Too expensive for me. I know sometimes you get what you pay for, but I also, again, as somebody that's getting into this hobby more in depth and really like investing myself into it, I don't necessarily want to buy something all in. I do go all in. That's just what I do, but I don't want to buy something and go all in and, you know, there's going to be a time where maybe I just can't do it anymore. So like right now, this is just I want an entry level kayak that I also am happy with, even if it's just my first kayak. So Hobies are just a little too expensive for me, and it is what it is. Big Fish is horrible. This is the second person I read this from. This is from Raphael. Big Fish is horrible paddling kayak. Crescent is a great brand, or Hobie Compass, and add the Water Snake, which is I think a trolling motor or a motor. Crescent, we've looked at Crescents, which I do believe Ascends and Crescents I've seen a lot of people recommend. Big Fish I think that's the second person I've seen say that they don't like the Big Fish kayaks. So I mean, it's just interesting to me that, like, you know, there are really just some true kayaks that just are not great for fishing. I have, though, however, been looking at the ultralights. And now my only thing with the ultralights is that they are... I've seen a lot of, like, tracking. They're good for movement. So I've been looking at the Crescent Ultralight. Now, granted, this is expensive, but it's a Crescent Ultralight, and it will be easy for me to lift by myself. It's a sit-on-top kayak. My only thing that I've seen is that the tracking is kind of rough. Like, it's a really ultralight boat, but it's also when you're paddling, it's meant for speed too. So, but this is not a boat that I'm not against. So I would like some, opinions on this. If you guys have them, if you know somebody that has them, check out and let me know the Crescent Ultralight here, because this one's not far from me. It's in between my price range. I would like to ask them to knock it down a little bit, but I've definitely I've seen these a few times, and the ultralight is what gets me. I think this kayak weighs about 50 pounds or something like that, so it's a really light kayak. And I think this one is also, I think it's about 10 feet too. I think it's about a 10-foot kayak. He doesn't have the length on it, but it's not, it's obviously not a long kayak. So I would definitely like your guys' opinion. So this is where I was talking about, like, the tracking. So it's a very streamlined haul, and it does not track, like, you'll be turning while you're paddling, but It's also meant for speed too, which would be nice, right? Like if you're trying to get around the lake or the pond or wherever you're at. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go, specs. Yeah, it's 50 pounds. A 50-pound kayak. That's really nice. That's kind of where it is really, you know, I'm definitely interested. You know, obviously it does have, I think it has two, oh no, it has attachments for fishing pole holders. But other than that, I don't think it has anything for fishing. Let's see what he says. Bought it for my daughter, then she got sick and couldn't be in direct sunlight. Only used one time, stored in the garage on a rack, comes with a catch bag, pad kit, life jacket, or not included. Why is it or not included? Because maybe they have another kayak. So I'd still have to get an oar. So if I could get this kayak for like $700, $600, $650, then I'm pretty interested in this Crescent ultralight. So I would like to know your guys' opinion. So again, day 3. I know we kind of rambled on, and I didn't really look through a lot of kayaks, but I really wanted to focus on your comments. So again, if you guys have any recommendations, any opinions, let me know in the comments down below. And this is day 3 of searching on Facebook Marketplace for fishing kayaks, but I have technically done some searching even outside of the YouTube videos. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you guys enjoy this content, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And it is getting into winter, so fishing for me is not necessarily a thing I might be doing here for the next few months because it's just cold and fish aren't biting and things like that. So for right now, I probably won't be doing much fishing. We'll probably do a lot of searching for fishing kayaks and things like that. Maybe going to Walmart, looking at deals, specifically coming up to Christmas, things like that. And see if we can find anything. But right now, it's just probably no fishing as of right now. But thank you guys for watching. Again, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys most likely for day 4 of searching for fishing kayaks. And we'll go over your comments and see if we can find any more. And I'll see you guys next time.